Hey guys, King of Charmers here to be your judge, your jury, and your analyst. And today I bring to you the strongest, this is still the strongest ABB team for the dang Flying Cup. It is unrivaled, it is goated, it's freaking the same thing. I don't know why they bought this cup back, because I seriously don't know. Why would you, Niantic is lazy, we all know that. But dang, how do y'all, I don't know. You know, it's not that I've lost all hope, it's just, there's little hope when if someone takes the reins of this game, like another company, by God, that would be the best thing ever for this game. But, enough of my grievances, this is the Flying Cup, it is here. The good thing about the Flying Cup is it's very, very fast. This is the strongest ABB team and arguably the strongest team for the Flying Cup because of its flexibility, and if you have good energy management, you can pull out some dubs. You're going to see me do that a lot here in this shoutcast. So what we have here is we have Aerodactyl, meta, Emolga, meta, and Zapdos, which is meta. So this is Rock Double Electric in the Flying Cup. Electric is very strong in this cup because there's not really a lot of things that threaten the Electric archetype. Yeah, you have Gligar and Gliscor. However, the problem with Gligar and Gliscor is that they don't have great fast moves to support their energy generation. And Wing Attack is resisted as well as Fury Cutter. So yes, Gliscor doesn't really stop this team from going to town. You lose the lead with Aerodactyl, you safe switch into Emolga, and then you close out with Zapdos with shields and with Aerodactyl's fast move damage. It's pretty simple. That or you'll force your way through. Like for Aerodactyl, you could force your way through in the one shield. For Aerodactyl, you could force your way through the one shield against an Emolga. That's what I'll normally do. And then after you come out with alignment, all you're gonna do is try to get as much energy as possible, overcharge, and then try to zap your opponent in the back. And there are some instances where you will have to bait and then fire the nuke move, but you'll see that in the shoutcast how you can take advantage of Zapdos winning CMP. But before we get started, this is my therapist mental health tip of the day. If you would like to skip this, all you have to do is just put your mouse on the thing and move forward a little bit. For those of you that are interested, this is actually a really short one, but it's mostly for stress. So I like doing stress because we're all stressed out to living hell nowadays. I had my interview this morning for my school therapist position, and they were like, I ran a 10K, which I usually do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's my schedule. So I'll wake up and run my 10K. And then we had my interview at 9:45, and I was like, all right, cool. I sat in a lobby, and they told me, oh, this was going to be 50 minutes. And then I saw a paper on the freaking desk, and I was like, I saw this, and then I saw a case and a vignette, and I was like, oh my God, this is a vignette. So what a vignette is, it's a case and it has all the story behind this, like what a client, and then you have to analyze the client, and then you have to give an evaluation of what you think this client might have and problems, etc. It's really annoying, and it's actually it takes a lot to like do a thorough one, but doing it 50 minutes, that's a lot, and you're just like out of surprise. But I'm doing this because what I'm talking about today is time management. So how did I manage my time? I woke up, I ran, took a shower, headed out. That's what you do. And time management is very important. Time management is great for stress. This is why I don't care about the leaderboard, because I always say this a lot, I'm not going to spend 9 minutes in a queue to make the leaderboard. No, I'm not going to do it. I have time. I have other things to do. And basic life skills like time management are sometimes overlooked in therapy. Playing Pokemon Go PvP will not get you into a 7-figure esports team or something like that. There's no way in hell, and I still have to this assessment, that no PvP will never be picked up by Optic Gaming, Energy, Xset, any of the most popular esports sports out there, FaZe, etc. You can dream on. It's not going to happen. So, very much, unless you are one of the few that have benefited from here, Pokemon Go PvP, and just literally monopolize it and pretend and partner with Niantic and sell your soul to them, you likely have another career field. And with that career field, you have time management. So for time management, this is a printout. It's a basic sheet. And skills like these make all the difference. Poor time management can damage relationships, careers, and cause unnecessary stress. It's like for Go Battle League sets. I don't care about making Legend. If I really did, I would take the time out there. I just use super meta teams. But I really just don't care. I've made Legend a bazillion times. Done things people have never have in this freaking game, and I'm pretty at peace with that. I don't need to make it again. But for some reason, people are like, oh my God, yay. But Pro Battle League, 2 hours of battling takes a long time. So manage your time, make sure you're able to put in that time, and make sure you put in the effort so that you get better. I still battle because it still gets me get better. There are new matchups coming out all the time, and you want to stay sharp because if you do end up competing later on, or if somehow the Pokemon regional circuit stays alive, Pokemon Go regional circuit somehow stays alive, even though it's ridiculously broken right now, yes, time management is important. So here's a relationship, time management, and without further ado, this is the strongest ABB team for the Flying Cup, and without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so these battles aren't super fast and they're not that technical. Well, they can be, but you'll see those in later battles. Right now, we got the mirror match, Aerodactyl and Aerodactyl. This is where your IVs might matter. If you take a look here, I will barely survive. So I have a rank 31 Aerodactyl. In some instances like this, if you are really good of looking at your health bar when you get the mirror in Aerodactyl, you could possibly win the mirror match like you see here. I'm not going to say it's going to happen all the time, but once in a while, if you do have a high-ranking Aerodactyl with a lot of bulk, you might be able to win the mirror like this. And then as you see here, we got another mirror. We got Emolga on Emolga. Their Emolga is going to be 1 discharge ahead or 1 thunder shock ahead, but that's perfectly fine. We still have 2 shields, which is great. As you see here, all I'm going to do is just fire off discharges. I will shield the next discharge, and then I'll put my opponent in the zeros. We pretty much have it in the bag. I'm kind of guessing they have a Zapdos in the back. This is the most powerful ABB team, and I'm pretty sure it's not a... Someone probably already saw my top teams are like, probably, yeah, this seems good, okay? So as you see here, we're just going to discharge this thing to death, and like I said, it was the mirror, which is pretty much what I predicted. However, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to bait. Because my opponent got a little bit of energy by switching out of... by having their Zapdos switch in ahead, I want to make sure that I get the bait here. So I'm going to fire this off, this Drill Peck, and I grab this shield, and then I should be able to just Thunderbolt for the victory. My opponent has Ancient Power. I don't know why people are using Zapdos with Ancient Power. I really don't. Yeah, you get the boost, but at the same time, if they don't fall for the bait, this is what happens. So as you see here, they fire the Ancient Power. Ancient Power won't kill, and then this Thunderbolt will kill, and that's game. This was just a case of knowing the team, playing the team better than my opponent. Like, they had a, but yeah, like, there is, like, if you don't boost with Ancient Power, you give up a lot. And Ancient Power it doesn't do a lot of damage. So, yeah, that's pretty much what it is. As you see here, we get an Emolga onto our Aerodactyl. My opponent switches into Gyarados, and then I'll switch into Emolga. I'm going to shield this one, and I'm just going to farm down and get a whole lot of energy. I know Emolga does lose against Aerodactyl in the 1 shield. However, you come out with shield advantage, so I'm not entirely sure my opponent willingly gave up switch. What my opponent should have done was let their Emolga go, then Gyarados to farm me down. That would have been a lot smarter. Instead of letting me have all this energy on my Emolga, even though my opponent sends in their own Emolga, I have an Aerodactyl that's still almost at full HP, and I still have a full Zapdos in the back. My discharges go through. My opponent is not shielding. My brain is like, why would you not shield? They send in their own Aerodactyl. What I'm going to do here is all I'm going to do is send in my own Aerodactyl, and I'm not even going to fire a move off. All I have to do is expend a shield, and my opponent will die with 2 shields. That's literally what it is. When it comes to the Flying Cup, you want to expend your shields as fast as possible, unless it's like a last-minute scenario where you have to bait to come out. You have to hit the bait like I did in Battle 1 to come out with the dub. So make sure you use your shields early. It's not worth holding on to them unless you know you're going to live, like if it's an Emolga against a Skarmory where Sky Attack's going to hit and it's resisted, it's probably not going to go there. Now this is a good instance of where you lose the lead. As you see, we'll lose the lead here because it's a Skarmory. If you don't switch out fast enough, that little bit of an energy lead gives you a good advantage with Emolga. As you see here, we're going to fire off Discharge, go Battle Like tries to take my soul, and then here we go with the Aerodactyl. Remember how I mentioned where you got that little bit of extra energy? Well, because of that, we're able to fire off 2 discharges here. This is a really fast, like super fast, like Sonic the Hedgehog fast, you know, or that, you know, if you ever watch TikTok, there's that fastest fluff little dog thingy, and that's the only thing I think about. These battles go fast as fluff, and probably the reason why you want to play Flying Cup if you're trying to get your Stardust, or rather, as you see here, if you use this team and your opponent boosts, that's what makes Ancient Power really annoying, because you can boost and that's what happens. However, because I still have a shield advantage here, all I gotta do is be really careful with my energy and I should still come out with a W. As you see here, my opponent sends in their own Zapdos. This is perfectly fine though. Even if they do win CMP, our Zapdos will be able to one-shot that Skarmory in the back, and our opponent won't be able to take us out with Sky Attack or Brave Bird with their own Skarmory. So, as you see here, Thunderclap and Flash Zenitsu, I love Demon Slayer. I love using that Demon Slayer reference. Or if you want, the Raikage, because if you're a Naruto fan, yes, I do dabble in that as well. And all you're gonna do is just double zap Thunder Lightning style Destroyer Lightning Blade the crap out of a poor Skarmory, and that's game. So if you lose the lead, you switch into Emolga, and then you just realign as you see here, or you just play out your matchups. We got Aerodactyl on the Aerodactyl action. Here's an example of what happens if you don't get that advantage like I told you about. If your IVs aren't that great and you do up in a mirror and you get the simultaneous KO like here, which will happen most of the time, you could wait out the timer. I encourage you to always wait out the timer like you see me doing here. Then you send in Emolga. Emolga is going to come out, and then this is Altaria, so this already sucks. The good thing is Altaria has to fire a Dragon Pulse or Moonblast in order to do neutral damage because Sky Attack is resisted. Dragon Breaths aren't going to do as much as Emolga as you see here, just because Emolga does have a decent amount of bulk. We're going to shield this first move. I'm assuming it's going to be a Moonblast or a Dragon Pulse. Either way, I want my Emolga as healthy as possible. As you see here, we're going to be able to fire off the second discharge, and we should be able to get to a third one because Dragon Breath damage is enough to take out our Emolga at this range. We fire off the second discharge. My opponent is probably going to either switch out or they're going to stay in with Altaria. The good thing is that we win CMP with Zapdos against Altaria, so we can possibly try to really finesse the matchup here. We fire this discharge, and then we're going to switch into Zapdos, and they happen to have a Skarmory, which is great, because all I have to do is overcharge a little bit here, and then I should be able to fire off this Thunderbolt. This Thunderbolt's going to go off, and this should KO Skarmory. A safer play here would have been to just get, like, overcharge to 100, just so I can get to the Drill Peck, as you see here. But instead, I like to go for Thunderbolt. Because that Altaria doesn't have a ton of energy, we should be able to get to 2 Thunderbolts anyways. And even if we're on the same interval, I'll win CMP against Altaria. Zapdos has a lot of high attack mons win CMP against Altaria. And that's GG's. For the last and final battle, these are one of the examples where energy management can really come into play. If you're good about managing energy and pretty good with your counts, I don't count. I really don't. I use my sense of timing when it comes to battling, because that's how much I've essentially mastered this rock, paper, scissors RPS. Yeah, it's not that complicated. It's a lot less stressful too, and it's a lot healthier for your mental health when you don't have to count moves, because I don't stress when I miscount. I'm like, oh, did I count right? Yeah. My opponent likes to switch out here, and they send in Mana Buzz, and for some odd reason, eat both discharges. Remember what I told you? Use your shields early. They send in Aerodactyl, but the problem is I'm able to get a ton of energy on my Emolga here, and I'm not really, I don't know what my opponent's doing. They're going to be able to farm me down, but then I quickly switch into Aerodactyl here and force my opponent to throw their energy. Even if I do end up in the zeros, that's fine. But as you see here, I want to actually use this Aerodactyl for farm. So the reason I didn't shield this is this gives me a little more energy with Zapdos, and they send in that, and it's a Skarmory anyway, so it doesn't really matter. This is me just trying to finesse the matchup even more. All I'm going to do is fire a Drill Peck. That should be fine. I'll shield this. You don't have to shield the Sky Attack. You'll live it, but I don't want to take too much down with Zapdos, because I know they have a ton of energy already banked on their Skarmory. Skarmory is going to fire out the Sky Attack, but Sky Attack doesn't one-shot a Zapdos. We're going to fire off this Thunderbolt, because I have a hunch that my opponent isn't going to shield, and they don't. And all we have to do is we just have to go ahead and farm our opponent down here. We get a simultaneous knockout, but because I still have Emolga, that's GG's. And that's game. I hope you all enjoyed the video. That was literally probably one of the fastest shoutcasts I've ever done in my life. But yes, hopefully you do understand how to play this team. It's really not that bad. It's very, it's Aerodactyl, Emolga, and Japanese Zapdos. Because my Zapdos, I claimed the research breakthrough when I was in, I think it was Chiba, Japan? Yeah, I think it was, was it Chiba? I don't know. Let me take a look real quick. But yeah, it's a very simple team. And it's, well, not very simple. Zapdos is really expensive, but hopefully this shoutcast does help you out. And it is Narita. Oh, Narita. Oh yeah, no, Narita, Japan. That's the airport, because Narita has an international airport. So I probably caught it while I was in the airport after I landed. That's where I caught it. So yes, Japanese Zapdos is the best. I love my Japanese Zapdos. But this team is incredibly powerful, as you see here, and you see with the battles with good energy management, you can break the RPS and come out with the dub. Of course, that does require you to have a lot of confidence, because it's very fast, and this Go Battle just really freaking broke right now. I lost some energy in my Emolga, and I was like wondering, like 2 battles I lost energy in my Emolga. I was like, is there Emolga ahead? Did I lag? I froze. It's like, whatever. But hopefully y'all are still enjoying the battles. Hopefully, if you don't like Flying Cup, you still have Open Great League. So you still have that, which is a good thing. Look forward to more Flying Cup content. I'm going to try to put out the most popular combinations, and then I'm probably going to fill it up with shorts or Open Great League stuff. So, hope y'all are enjoying your battles. Again, please like, subscribe, and comment for the YouTube algorithm. For those that do that, I appreciate you. And I try to comment back as much as I can. Or answer questions, either or. But without further ado, good luck on your Go Battle, and I will see y'all on the next video.